everybody, it's Christine and I'm here with a video of our new release called Lovey Cuties. This will be available on Friday, January 8th at noon Eastern, and I just stamped it on some Copic paper using Memento Tuxedo Black, and I used my Misty to make sure that I got a really good impression when I stamped it. This set was drawn by Roberto, and it has cats and dogs. And I wanted it to be a Valentine's set, but not cupids and stuff because I wanted to be able to use it for other times of the year. So we've got the puppy who's hugging a kitty, and then we've got a kitty who's sitting on the head of another puppy. So I used the snapshot die because I wanted this card to make it look like photos of these cute little puppies and kitties. And so what I did is I measured it out because I wanted the image to be larger than the little section in the die. And so I cut them out just a bit larger, and then I'm going to glue them to the back of the die so it kind of insets the image. And then I started coloring them with Copic markers, and I will list all the markers up in the left-hand side of the screen. And so this is the little tabby cat that I'm coloring now. And when I was a teenager, I convinced my parents to let me go get some cats um, from the local shelter. And so we got one named Sammy, who was a little tabby, and he ended up being my mom's cat. And then we got a little girl named Meshach, who was gray. And when I got married and moved out, my mom would not let me take the cats. She said, "Nope, they're my cats now." I think that's what happens with most parents when they let their kids get pets. They're like, "No, I think I'm going to keep those pets." And then I colored the puppy like my dog Lucky. He was a stray who we used to own a restaurant, and he would come to the restaurant and we would feed him hot dogs because he was so skinny. And one day we were talking and we're like, well, maybe we should go and rescue him. So we picked him up in the grocery store parking lot that was across the street from our business, and he was about 9 months old at the time, and he's now 17. So he's our little old man. So then here is the other kitty that I'm coloring like Meshach with the gray, as she was just a basic gray kitty. And so I just made her look like Meshach. Just did some quick coloring on her. And then the puppy, I colored like our other dog, Honey, who was also a stray that our neighbor found in her yard. And we got Honey, she was about 4 months old. And uh, we took her to the vet. And I asked the vet, is she a pit bull? And he's like, oh, no, no, she's not a pit bull. No, don't worry about it. Well, she definitely has some pit bull in her. And she's that pretty, she kind of looks like a boxer. So she's got that reddish color of a boxer. So I tried to color this puppy like her with that kind of reddish honey colored. And then she has white, like her little paws are white and her little muzzle's white and her belly's white. So I tried to color like her like that. Which Honey's been our naughty dog. She's had to have surgery because she ate a towel and it got lodged in her intestines. So twice she's had to have open surgery to remove the blockage. But she is a pretty fun dog to have. She's wild, and even though she is now 11 years old, she is still wild and crazy as ever. So I went ahead and colored the pillow in red and pink. And so the card is going to be red, pink, and teal. I really like those colors together. kind of a different take on Valentine colors of just pink and red and white. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the coloring here, and then we will move on to our making up our card. So I'm just adding some grays and BG10 to give it a little bit of shadowing and a little depth to the images. All right, and then I just grabbed some cardstock. I have teal and pink that I did the snapshot die in, and I used my trusted Cuttlebug, which I think my Cuttlebug has seen better days, and I'm probably going to have to be replacing it soon, which I'm not too excited about. I actually got the Cuttlebug back when it was first introduced, I think in 2007, so that thing's seen a lot of life. So I'm just gluing the images to the inside of the snapshot frames. And then I grab my piece of white cardstock. Now those hearts are from the Valentine Slimline Die that will also be available on January 8th. And I took my Copic um, R59 and I just went around the edges of the one heart to make it stand out a little bit more, give it a little more depth. And I just simply traced around it. And then I grabbed my sentiment and I was going to do black paper, and then I'm going to emboss the sentiment in white embossing ink to make it really pop. And so I just line it up on my Misty, excuse me, and I used one of those bags that helps with the static cling, which it has been very dry around here in Kansas, and everything is clingy. There's static cling like crazy right now. So I just used the CC Designs embossing ink to emboss the sentiment onto the black paper. And then I just had some, I think that's Ranger's white embossing powder that I just poured on it. And then I heat embossed it. And I have uh, my heat gun I got a long time ago. And actually, I used that heat gun not only with my stamping and whatnot, but also with my other business because I have to bag up like bath bombs. And so I use it to shrink wrap. And I've also used it to help when I make the candles and I need like to clean out stuff and heat up the wax and whatnot. So now I'm finishing up my cards. I'm just just gluing everything down. And I think that's so cute. And I just love I really like those colors. I'm really liking teal, red, and pink right now. So when I did the sentiment, I made sure it was long enough that it went all the way across the card front. And then I grabbed my white highlighting pen and I went over and added a bunch of white highlights all over the card to just give it some life. So now I'm just adding that on there. And I just got those pins off of Amazon. It was a 6-pack for, it was like $10 for 6 of them. Which I had one before that died, so I needed to buy some. And so I'm like, I like these. I use them a lot. Okay, so we're just finish that up. And then we're going to attach the card to a red card base, which I'm doing here. And that is my card and they call it Puppy Love. And those puppies are giving those kitties some love. So cute. Thank you for joining me. Bye.